number 18, Mother's Day spending. So they give us a situation and they talk about top 3 Mother's Day gifts, and they are flowers, jewelry, and gift certificates. And the total of the average amount spent on these is $53.42. So that means if I take the average spent on flowers and jewelry and gift certificates, I'll call that C, that should add up to $53.42. Second sentence says this: the average amount spent on jewelry is $4.40 more than the average amount spent on gift certificates. So jewelry is $4.40 more than what's spent on gift certificates. And then my third equation is together the average amount spent on flowers and gift certificates is $15.58 more than what was spent on jewelry. All right, probably before you start, you're going to want to line everything up. So the top equation is F plus J plus C equals 53.42. And then the next one would be J minus C equals 440. And the last one would be F minus J plus C equals 1558. That's just rewriting these equations so that they kind of line up. If you'll notice, this one doesn't have an F, so why don't I go ahead and decide to use that. So J minus C equals 440. And then I'm going to take these two lines and try to cancel out an F. So I'm going to keep the top line just like it's written. And for the bottom line, I'm going to multiply it times a negative 1 using these two. Multiply negative 1, I get negative F plus J minus C equals 1558. Whoops, supposed to be times a negative. Negative F plus J minus C equals negative 1558. All right, add these two lines together. The F's cancel. I get 2J. The C's cancel. Equals, and then 53.42 minus 15.48 is, all right, 53.42 minus 15.58 is 37.84. Divide by 2. That means the average amount spent on jewelry is $18.92. So that helps me find the average amount spent on jewelry. Jewelry minus the gift certificates is $4.40. So if I know what jewelry is, $18.92, that's kind of messy, minus the gift certificates equals $4.40. If I solve this, do $4.40 minus $18.92, I get negative C equals negative $14.52. So the amount on average spent on gift certificates, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, is $14.52. The total of all three is $53.42. So take these other two, $14.52 and $18.92, add them together. So I would have flowers plus these two added together is $33.44. Has to add up to $53.42. Subtract, and that means the average spend on flowers is $19.98. So $19.98 on flowers, $18.92 on jewelry, and $14.52 on gift certificates. Okay, question 21 is a little confusing in the way that it's written, but once you get it set up, it shouldn't be too bad. So for 21, they talk about different serving sizes of different low-carb vegetables, and they want to know how many carbohydrates are in each serving size. The serving size of lettuce is going to be 1 cup. So L is going to equal 1 cup of lettuce. A is going to equal 6 raw asparagus. That'll be 1 serving of asparagus. And then T is going to be 1 cup of tomatoes. So for my first equation, they say if I have 1 cup of lettuce, so that's L, and 6 raw asparagus, that's just 1A, and then 1 cup of raw tomatoes, so that's just 1T, it should add up to 12 grams of carbohydrates. My second equation is 1 cup of raw lettuce, so lettuce, 6 raw asparagus, so A, has 1/2 the carbohydrates of raw tomatoes, so that would be 1/2 of T. And for my third equation is 1 cup of lettuce and tomatoes have 3 times the carbohydrates of the asparagus. All right, so I'm going to line these up just like I did in the last one. L plus A plus T equals 12. This would be L plus A minus 0.5t equals 0. I just moved this t to the other side and I made it 0.5 instead of a half. And then L minus 3a plus t is equal to 0. Okay, if I use the top two lines and tried to cancel and multiply the second line maybe by a -1, the top line would stay the same and the bottom line would become -L minus a plus a half t equals 0. The L's cancel and the A's cancel, and this is 1 plus a half. That'd be 1.5t equals 12. Divide by 1.5. You get the number of carbohydrates in a serving of tomatoes is 12 divided by 1.5, which is 8. So there's 8 carbohydrates in a serving of tomatoes. All right, so that kind of helped me. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out how to cancel maybe the t's. So I'm going to use, maybe I can do the first and the third one, and I'm going to do 3 times the top line, and that'll cancel out the a's. So 3 times the top line would be 3L plus 3A plus T, which I already know is 8, so plus 8 equals 12. And then the bottom line, I'm going to leave it just like it was, except for instead of T, I'm going to put 8. All right, add these two lines together. I get 4L plus 16 equals 12. All right, I just found a mistake I made. When I multiply this top line by 3, it becomes 3L plus 3A plus, I forgot to multiply this times 3 and this times 3. 3L plus 3A plus, it'd be 3 times T, which would be 24, excuse me, equals 3 times 12, which is 36. And the bottom line stays the same. So I get, let me erase this, it'd be 4L, and that, the A's cancel, so I get 4L plus 32 equals 36. Subtract 32, you get 4L equals 4, so the L will equal 1. So 1 gram of carbohydrate in a serving of lettuce, 8 in a serving of tomatoes, and remember our starting equation, there's a total of 12 carbohydrates. So if the lettuce has 1 and the tomatoes have 8, and I'm adding up to 12, that means the asparagus serving would have to have 3 grams of carbohydrates. So a cup of lettuce has 1 gram of carbohydrates, 6 asparagus has 3 grams of carbohydrates, and then 1 cup of tomatoes has 8 grams of carbohydrates.